Okay, so Saturday night, Romford Horror Festival. We're here with another fantastic filmmaker who's just had the short film Caretaker show here at the festival. Round of applause, please. Yes. So James Hood, lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming. Let's talk about how you got into filmmaking, first of all, and then let's go on to how this film, Caretaker, came about.
How long have you got? To give you a brief summary, when I was about 4, I wanted to be a paleontologist because I love Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And then I watched a BTS making of Jurassic Park narrated by James Earl Jones, which was awesome, and that showed me the world behind the world that I was watching. And then I realised at that point that's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Fast track through school, where you've no idea really what you're doing at school. And then I went to college, found out I could study film, which was very much my passion. And I specialised in it, moved to uni after that and did a film degree, and then made several shorts, none of which I was happy with. And then finished that, and then joined the film industry, which I've been working in for the last few years. But in 2021, had written the first draft for Caretaker, which was radically different to what it finally became. Shot it 2022, finished it September last year. No, what are we in 2024 now? Oh my word. Sorry, shot it 2021, I think. Oh my word. And then completed it 2022, and here we are. Yeah.
The film, I'm meant to be impartial, but this was one of my favourite shorts. It was so powerful and so well made, incredibly well made and hard hitting. This felt like a personal kind of story to you, was it?
Yes, so the film is my attempt to articulate what it feels like for someone with dementia to genuinely be suffering from it, whilst at the same time trying to encapsulate that anxiety that is built from the carer. And the carer is usually the relative. And what happens when you're caring for someone with dementia is that it almost creates a portal into your own future. So the film, in a way, is me trying to articulate that anxiety, not just of the idea of knowing that you're losing someone very close to you, but knowing that this could also be your own fate one day. I'd seen a lot of dementia films about dementia, and some are very good, but others, I think, that none of them had really tried to articulate dementia properly, like really. It's kind of almost like the afterlife, I would say, in a way, where it's anyone's interpretation, but no one had really properly, maybe aside from the father, articulated it the way, and that was my attempt with Caretaker, was to articulate that experience.
Yeah, we have in the past for both festivals, we do get a lot of kind of films about dementia. It's a particularly powerful and personal kind of subject that a lot of people can relate to, but yeah, this was one of the best, definitely one of the best examples. Well, how many kind of drafts did you go through? What did you really ultimately want to convey through the film?
Well, what's kind of hilarious is that the script is 6 pages, which is very funny, and it's all just description. Before that, we went for about 13 drafts, I'd say, and what I've discovered in my writing process is that my first couple of drafts are just outlandish and mental. Like they're never going to happen unless there's some sort of ridiculous budget. So it was about drawing it in and grounding it and grounding it and grounding it until we found a place of stability, which finally, and luckily, well, I say luckily, but very grateful that it landed in the place that it did. Because we could have kept writing and could have kept changing things. But ultimately we found, between myself and my cinematographer, and the lead actress Bethan, who was Sam, the cinematographer, and Bethan, the lead actress, were involved from the beginning, and they were also very connected to the writing process. It's credited as written by me, but they own just as much a writing credit to it as I do, really. So yeah, it was a very consistent process, and we even changed it quite a bit, like literally the week before we started shooting as well. So yeah.
Sounds like a real collaboration, close collaboration. How did you go about casting it? Did you know your actresses before? Or?
Well, that's an interesting story. So Bethan and I had worked on a short together a couple of months prior, and she was very good in that, and I pitched this idea to her, sent her the scripts, the original script, which was just crazy, and she really connected with it, and then told me about her experiences being a carer for a dementia ward, and I went, well, this is right up your street. And then casting her mother, because in the film, the lead actress, the younger woman, she's meant to be playing my grandmother, essentially.
Okay, right.
But in a way, everyone in a way is playing my grandmother, so it was a bit complicated to try and articulate. She had worked with Rosalind, who plays the mother, previously, and I told Bethan that I only want to cast someone that you're comfortable with, and she recommended Ros. We had a few conversations, and it worked out really well. Yep. And then for Daisy, who plays the young girl, we literally cast her like the week before filming, because we were just searching for like a young actress that had a very striking look, and yeah, we found Daisy, and she was brilliant. She was great.
Yeah, they're both fantastic. You mentioned your DOP there. As well as the performances, the visuals are one of the standout things, in my opinion, about your film. It's very kind of expressionistic, and there's all kind of, that's how you convey the story rather than in dialogue. How did you work with your DOP to make the mood of the film?
That was really tough, I can't lie. Sam's great, but he's a bit like Orson Welles. He's brilliant, but you can't get him in a room. But the second you do, he's in it and he's awesome. He came to some of the last, because we rehearsed quite rigorously. Okay. I rehearsed with Bethan and Rod, so we had to rehearse everything. We couldn't leave anything up to chance. It was just too important. We shot it in 3.5 days as well. Oh, wow. And he came down on the last rehearsal day, was meant to stay over for a night. He ended up staying over for 5 nights. And in that, between him and I, we had we shot like a botched version of the film on our phones, stitched it all together, and knew exactly what we wanted. I think it wasn't until, and that was 2 weeks before we started shooting. Okay. And I think, because Sam's brilliant, but he's much more of a commercial filmmaker. He's not really a fiction filmmaker. Okay. I brought him on because he shot and directed a very moving short, which matched the energy and the style of shot choice that matched with what I wanted with Caretaker. And when we were shooting, he was just brilliant. His eye for it was incredible, really, he really had my back, and I'm really happy that he did. It was very tough. Also because my references are film references, okay. And I realised when I really got into that 2-week period that his references are not that. He consumes a very artistic fashion product. He loves Vimeo content. He loves quick bits, and I realised at that point that I should have matched that. So it was a big learning curve, but on the day, it was brilliant. It was great.
Yeah, I was going to ask you whether there were any, maybe for yourself, any films or like that you had in mind that influenced the film?
I mean, where to start? You've got The Shining, Picnic at Hanging Rock, Persona. You've got Roman Polanski's what's it called? Not Rosemary's Baby. The one with the woman inside the apartment. Not The Tenant.
Oh,
it's the other one. I can't remember the name of it.
Catherine Deneuve. Deneuve one, isn't it?
Yeah, what's that called? Repulsion. Yes, Repulsion. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, it's been such a long time. Repulsion was a really big influence. Basically, and I didn't watch any Almodovar, weirdly, because all of his films are about women going kind of nuts inside of enclosed space. Oh yeah, woman on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Yeah. A lot of those. And then what was her name? There was another filmmaker as well whose name just escapes me. I watched a lot of that. Free Women by Robert Altman. Altman was really good. He made this other film called Images, which is bonkers. And that really helps me try and articulate how to tell this story, because it was very, very intimidating going into principled photography to know that, okay, I've got 6-page script, there's no dialogue, and everyone was asking me how long is the film really going to be, because there's definitely a version of Caretaker that could be 10 minutes, but that's not the version I made, and that's not the version I'm ever going to make. Some of that.
If you could give one tip to yourself before you made this film? Like one thing you've learned from making this film, what would it be?
Oh, believe in yourself. Totally. I'd say, like, I didn't have enough faith in myself, and I should have fought. I had a little bit of a back and forth with some of my crew on set, my first AD and my producer, and I should have fought harder. There are 2 shots that didn't make it into the film, and I'm annoyed that didn't make it into the film, but it's fine, no one will ever notice what they are, and I never mention what they are. But that's because we were pushed against time, and I should have fought to have those. So it's basically believe in yourself and fight believe in yourself, and through that, really fight your own battles. If you believe in it, you have to fight, because that's going to happen when you're making a film. As I imagine loads of you in this room have, like, you have to fight battles every day on set. Annoyingly, it's a battle, and it shouldn't be. It should be a collaborative process, which it is. But there's all this politics, there's war, there's people not liking each other. Bethan really didn't vibe with my producer, and they clashed, like, at the point where they even had an argument on set. That was really tense. But she kind of used it as well for a performance, which was great. So, yeah.
2-part final question. First one's a quick one. What's your favourite horror film? And the second one is what you're working on in the future.
My favourite horror film, I've been watching a lot of Peeping Tom recently.
Okay.
I've been watching that. It just got a new 4K restoration, thanks to Martin Scorsese and Thelma Schoonmaker, and it looks incredible. But prior to that, it was The Shining for quite a while, purely because of Caretaker. And then what am I working on next? It's strange. It's similar in style. It's essentially, like, I would say that this film is my ghost story, and then what I'm doing next is like Frankenstein, maybe, involving a mannequin.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know when that will get made. Soon. I'm in no rush. I'd love to be able to say I'd make it this year, but money. So yeah.
Great stuff. Again, congratulations on the short. I think you've nominated it for 4 prizes this year. So
5.
5. Well, there you go.
Crazy.
No better than me.
Yeah.
Can I have a round of applause, please, for James? Wonderful.